welcome to episode 23 of the Football Home Podcast, otherwise known as FHP. Today we will be taking a look back at the World Cup and looking specifically at the third place game between Croatia and Morocco, as well as looking at the thrilling final between Argentina and France. We'll dive straight in, shall we? Let's go and talk about the third place game between Croatia and Morocco. Andreas, I know you were watching it. Any thoughts?
Yeah. So like it's. I think in general you can't ignore the fact that third place match is not the same as a final or even a semi-final, because it still means a lot. It really does, and it's important to remember that it's still a medal that a lot of people will never ever get in their life. So it still means a lot, but that just is that difference in knowing that you're not going to win the entire thing, because that is what every team comes for. Even the small teams, they are there to try and win. It's probably unlikely that it will happen, but they will do everything possible to win it all. So reality of third place matches is that it's not on the same level. But with that said, I think that both teams really gave their all. Like they really fight it, and both teams were just like we need this medal. And I think it was 1-0 to Croatia, right?
It was
3-1, I think. Yeah,
it was 2-1.
2-1.
Okay, yeah. So already in that you can see that both teams really fight it a lot, and like I know I don't think I said that last time, but I expected this to be a 0-0 draw and Croatia winning in penalties. And both teams really showed that that's not what they wanted. They wanted to win. They wanted to really fight for this, and both teams showed that. And I think it's two teams that's really good at reading the opponent, and they have already faced before. They know each other very well, and I think we saw that in this match. That sure, a lot of goals happened, but at the same time, both teams read each other very well. And I think at the end of the day, it's just Croatia being a little bit better on level, having Modric, that's an amazing player, and I think that's what it comes down to. I think Morocco has been really good in defense, but I think they have a little bit of struggles when it comes to really showing offensive amazing football, and that's okay. Like that's not weird at all. And they should just be really happy of even coming this far. Like that's really amazing, and the future for them looks really bright. And not even them, I think the African teams in general has really shown a lot in this World Cup. So yeah, that's really exciting and amazing that Croatia, being such a small country, getting second place last time and now getting third place. That's really an incredible destiny for them. So yeah, just a good match, and I think it's the best that a third place match could be. Like I think it could not be better than it was, given the circumstances. So yeah.
Fair enough. It's a shame actually not to see Morocco kind of finish off what would have been an amazing tournament for them with a third place medal. I think it would have been nice for them. I don't think Croatia necessarily deserved third place. I think they've kind of just been lucky in ways. I don't think they've necessarily been one of the best teams. So.
Yeah, agree. I think that's the history of the World Cup, that you need a little bit of luck. Like if you look at past winners, there is a bit of luck involved in almost every winner winning it all. But yeah, I agree. Like I think I said it with Croatia in last 16, that if they have faced Germany or Spain or something like that, I don't think Croatia would have been at the semifinals or even last 8. So yeah, I agree with that. But I think that's the that's the thing that is for every team, that you need a little bit of luck to get further.
Yeah, Warren, I know you didn't get to see the game.
Yeah,
The stats.
yeah. I'm looking at the stats. I didn't really watch. I watched a bit of the highlights. But it looks like it was a really, really closely contested match. Because if you look at the pass accuracy, the number of passes that went through for each team, it was really, really close, around the 400s. And there was like two shots on targets for Morocco, 4 shots on target for um, Croatia. So it was really, really close. It was a really close match, and they won by 1 goal. So I mean, but I think Harry, you said in our chat while the match was going on that all of Morocco's centre backs and the defense was a bit injured, and they really didn't have a lot of reserves left on their bench when it comes to the defense. And I think that is where Croatia really hurt them in the game, because yes, Morocco had the rockier road to the semi-finals. So one would say yes, they deserved it more, but because they had to walk that rocky road, they paid for it in dividends when it comes to the injured players, and most of their star players couldn't perform on the night. But I think on the last episode we said that it's going to be like a close. It's going to be like a 1-0 win if somebody has to win, or it will be a draw and it will go to penalties. And it was kind of shocking to see it not happening. But again, this World Cup was so unpredictable. So anything, anything that couldn't happen is actually happened. So props to Croatia. So they on the podium again, and for another World Cup tournament. And let's see if they can actually get the win next time. And like Andrea said, also, with the African nations doing really well with Senegal and Morocco, it's going to pave the way for many teams now. And it's just about planning and structuring and just making sure that you get there and then learn from your mistakes. But yeah, it was an interesting match. It wasn't a boring match. If I I watched the highlights and I look at the stats, it doesn't appear that it was an ordinary boring match. So again, Qatar delivered with the quality of matches that they produced.
Fair enough. I think the only good thing was to see Luka Modric getting a medal, and you could see how much it meant to him.
Yeah.
Especially with it being his kind of final tournament.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a rebuilding job now for Croatia. Modric has been at the heart of that Croatia team for so long now. I mean, kind of to see how they adapt without him going forward, and it'll be interesting to, because he's been such a big pivotal part that it's going to be interesting just to kind of see them see how they do without him and see how they rebuild, and can they find someone else to anchor that midfield. It can be a bit of a rebuilding job in total, I think, for them, because it is a bit of an aging team, that Croatia team.
But the question is if it really is the end of Modric. There isn't an Euros in only 2 years. He's not going to be at the World Cups. I think that's pretty safe to say. But who knows? Like, with how he's performing right now, I would not be shocked if he's still there at the Euros. That man is insane. Like, again, World Cup, that's not going to happen. But in 2 years' time, I could see it. But I don't think they have a chance. Like, it is an aging team, as you said, and he is like, I don't think with how, like, Messi really important, Mbappe really important, Ronaldo was really important. Modric is more important than all of them. He is more important for Croatia than anyone else is in
It's really interesting because it's a point that you bring up there, because for me it's like, if I look at the score sheet, Modric wasn't really involved in a lot of he wasn't on the score sheet at all in this campaign. But like, if you look at what he contributed to the team, it really assisted them in getting where they were. So it's going to be interesting. However, at the same time, I do think there's potential for them to move on without him if they do plan and they do structure, and the rebuilding process is going to be pivotal for this team right now, and they have to start soon, so that they need to bring in fresh blood. They need to get in, star players that's going to fill that big boots once he leaves. If he goes to the Euros, and after that, I don't think he's going to be there anymore. And then it's going to be really, really crucial for them. But they do have the potential. I do think that they have the potential to move on without him. It's about what they put in place to allow them to maneuver, because they showed in this World Cup that they can score goals without him. He doesn't have to be on the team sheet. However, his role is very important, and the contributions that he made. So he's a big asset, and for them to lose, that's going to use a major gap in that team. It's about the rebuilding. The coaching really needs to, the coaching staff really needs the tools down. They have to look at the blueprint of the team and see where they can, strengthen them from the core. And they have to start scoring more. They can't rely on mediocre performances anymore. It has to be more clinical for them if they want to get to that title. Because what they've been doing so far isn't working to get to that final. To get to the final, but to actually win the match. But anything can happen over the next 4 years. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's the crazy thing with Modric, because he is not the one, at least not anymore, the one that's scoring the goal. That's not him. But I have seen on with my own eyes when they played against us in Nations League, he was not there for the first half or something. We completely dominated. Then he came on. It wasn't even because he did much, but just him being there meant so much, and they ended up absolutely beating us because his importance to that team is so crazy to see. And it's not only just scoring goals or just that, like, it's just him being there really means so much for this team. But I agree, I think they have a good squad, and I think it's also like talking about nations is really difficult because there will keep coming new young talent that we don't even know exist yet. And that's the difficult part, talking about countries and stuff like that. But I think Croatia have a good squad, and I think they will keep having these young talents that will grow. But it will be a difficult task for them. But yeah, I agree. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I do think that the likes of Modric, I think he should go now before the Euros to kind of give them that time to kind of rebuild and kind of in time for the Euros. That it's a 4-year project, that like he should go now before 2025. What's happening in 2025? The Copa America.
Isn't the men's World Cup thing in 3 years or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, they said it's the men's World Cup, or something about the men's something in in 3 years time. So I don't know if he's referring to that.
What they do?
I don't know.
I think Abu talked about that. He heard some way that it's going to be World Cup is going to be in 2025, but I'm pretty confident that it's the year after that. But
in the US. It's in 2026 in the USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe he's thinking of the Cricket World Cup.
Not sure.
Maybe it could be.
I'm not sure that.
Yeah, the next World Cup is
2025. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm just trying to see. Next World Cup will be held in 2026. Yeah,
I think it's just.
I don't know why I don't know what Abu is thinking.
It's Abu. Do we really ever know what he is thinking? Like, let's be honest here.
I think he might be thinking of the Cricket World Cup or something.
Yeah, he's saying it here that the next World Cup is in 2025.
Yeah, I don't think they have confirmed that.
I don't think it's right.
Every 4 years for the last.
Let's give it to Abu. If he is right about this, he deserves a trophy.
No, somebody asked at Google, is there a World Cup in 2025? FIFA will stage an expanded Club World Cup featuring 32 men's team from June 2025. So I'm not sure what that means. So that's I think And that is Gianni Infantino that confirmed this.
Okay, so it's FIFA trying to make a new a Super League. It's FIFA trying to
Yeah,
make
it's not the World Cup. It's just it's like a build up to it basically.
Yeah.
The Club World Cup, but yeah, it's the Club World Cup. Abu
It's the Club World Cup. Yes, Club World Cup.
Typical
It's
Abu.
the most clinical stuff ever. Let's just say it as it is.
Typical Abu.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on and we'll talk about the final, which was pretty eventful. It was a 3-3 draw with it going all the way to penalties. It was a pretty much a cracker. Argentina probably deserved to win it overall, I think. They felt like they were kind of the better team from the start. France kind of had a patch where they came in and scored a couple. You have to give France credit, though, for kind of coming back from 2-0 down and then 3-2 down. That they came back and they did. But they did that. But, it's not easy to kind of come back, especially in a final. It would be easy to just put your head down and just let it get the better of you, but they didn't. Mbappe really showed his quality, getting a hat trick. So yeah. And then the penalty shootout was eventful. France, another team who can't take a penalty. We've seen quite a few of those teams this year in the World Cup that just can't take penalties. Warren, your thoughts on the game?
Yes. Okay. This game. Like I was in all sorts of. I actually made a post somewhere on Facebook and said I need to lay down for like a whole year after this World Cup final because this match took me up down. I was biting my nails. I didn't know where to look. I didn't know if I have to watch with one eye. Like the majority of the game, it was like Argentina was gonna run away with it, which shocked me. And France just couldn't get a hand. Like they couldn't get control of the ball. Like they couldn't get possession. It was so hard to watch. And because they're the defending champions, and to see this happening, like Argentina completely bossed them for the first 79 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden, I think fatigue crept into Argentina, and France countered back with Mbappe 2 goals in like a span of a minute and a half, and it was crazy that it went to penalties, and there were so many penalties within the regular time as well. So it was the Messi Mbappe, battle all the way for the goals, and but like it was. I think a lot of people labeled it as the best final match of a World Cup ever, because it delivered. The World Cup final delivered. It was the cherry on top of the cake. And I didn't mind who won. Like I didn't mind either if either team won. I was pro France. I did say it on the podcast, but like I didn't mind that Argentina won. I mean, everybody wanted Messi to have that final moment of glory and just finally get that World Cup after Maradona. And it was just so difficult. And I think, like you said, for France to come back from being 2-0 down and then 3-2 down, I think that makes it even worse for them because like it was more of a bitter pill to swallow for them at the end that they couldn't get it. But I also think that with the penalties, the people that they had on the pitch at the time for the penalties weren't the penalty takers. And I think that's where it hurt them. And I've been saying this the whole time, Hugo Lloris, I'm sorry. Yeah. He's not one of the best goalkeepers. I'm sorry for being the captain of the defending champions and being so sloppy, like all season, like all campaign. I'm sorry, he's conceding too many goals. He can't save penalties. There was no chance, but Martinez has proven in the tournament that he can save penalties. So that was just. It was the battle of two gods. Going up against each other, and I know a lot of people wanted it to be Ronaldo and Messi at the end, but it turned out to be Mbappe and Messi, and they were fighting for the golden boot. They were fighting for the title. So it was just this gladiator match happening on the football pitch. Excuse me, football pitch. Football pitch, and it was a great final. And congrats to Argentina. I can't say they didn't deserve it. I can't say that they played the better game, but props to France for coming back from the dead and clawing their way back into the game within like a span of 2 minutes. So that's impressive. That just shows what kind of quality of a team France is. And it was just the luck just wasn't in their favor for the finals. They played great all season, and in the finals it was like
Yeah.
they couldn't get it through, and it was like the flip side for Argentina. They started bad and they ended off on a high. I think Andreas was the one that said it was similar to Spain, who lost like early in the 2010 World Cup, and then they went on to win. So it was the same. Argentina lost their first match, but then they won each and every match after that with conviction. So yeah, props to them, but I have to give France credit for the performance that they gave, because, like you said, any other team would have gone with their tails between their legs and said, "Okay, we're done," and it didn't happen. But I don't expect the defending champions to give up. So they had a title to defend. So yeah, it was everything and more.
This was France's B team as well, really. They were missing their entire midfield, like Kante and Pogba. They were missing Karim Benzema. You got to give them credit for getting that far with the injuries they had, and the depth that they have in the squad is impressive. And you got to feel sorry for Mbappe in a way. A hat trick, and still didn't win. It kind of sour. Just to address Abu's comment actually here, I did quickly have a quick look to see.
Can I say something quickly? When the man has so much time to talk about all this stuff, why is he not here on the call? Is there someone that can explain that to me?
Exactly, that's a very good question. Just to say that what is being said is that before the effort crossed the line, several Argentina substitutes can be seen creeping onto the pitch near where the dugouts were placed. Official FIFA rules state, if after a goal is scored, the referee realises before play restarts that there was an extra person on the field of play, that when the goal was scored, that the referee must disallow the goal.
Thank you, Brie. Thank you.
So there is that, but I guess maybe the referee didn't see it to be able to give it.
I think like it's a difficult thing, because you can always find something where you can say, oh, this should have been this should have been this, but it's like it is what it is, and like it's over now. Argentina won. With how Argentina performed, I'm sure that even if it was disallowed, they would have scored another goal instead. You can say the same with France. If they had made a mistake, I'm sure they would have scored either way. That's what it all comes down to. No matter what, you can't rely on the ref. You need to do it, to do the job on your own. That's what it's all about when it all comes down to it. Sure, should the refs be the best there ever was? Should they know exactly what to do? Absolutely. But life is not fair, and it's the same in football. Sometimes you just need to go out there yourself and do it yourself. And no matter what, Argentina won, and that's the end of it.
And I think it probably would have been the same outcome, to be honest. I think
exactly.
I think France only scored their third goal in response to Argentina's goal.
Yeah.
Exactly. Had Argentina not scored, France may not have been.
It would have been 2-2.
Oh, shut up!
What do you?
But yeah, talking about the match, this was, I think I'm pretty sure, I'm not pretty sure. I know that it's the best World Cup final I have ever watched, and it's probably also one of the best matches just in general that I have ever seen. Just an amazing match, and I don't know if I have said this already, but I think all of you know that I predicted Argentina to win right from the beginning, so that meant something to me having them there. But it actually did. Like the World Cup means a lot to me, and Euros and World Cup means a lot to me. So watching them, I always have this team that I think is winning, and I think myself that I was a little bit bold and went with Argentina, because Brazil was the favorites. France was the champs, all this kind of stuff. but I took a chance and went with Argentina. But then on the other side, the rest of my family, we all do this where we pick a team we think will win it all. The entire rest of my family went with France. So we watched the final together, and it was just them attacking me and just yelling at me because I had Argentina. And it was just so crazy watching that final with them, because Argentina had the entire control of it all. First half, 2-0. It looked like it was over, but Argentina made the same mistake like they did against Netherlands, and the same mistake they made against Saudi Arabia. They completely lost it defensively, and that's just something you are not going to do against France. France is too strong to make mistakes like Argentina did, and France really showed that they really know how to come back. Abu, why are you not here when you have so much time? Can you explain that?
Exactly. Come talk, Abu. Come talk.
Come talk, Abu.
You like to say, what? That's your catchphrase, Abu. Come talk.
You can either come talk or you can cry more. It's up to you, but it's the same thing no matter what. France really showed that they are a really strong team, and it just kept being like that. Argentina was started good, then France came back, then Argentina came back 3-2, then France came back 3-3. Oh no!
Oh my god!
Go soon. But yeah, just really crazy, and then it ended in penalties where Argentina was best. Yeah, you can say France. I agree. I think Lloris is not good enough anymore for France as keeper.
Was he ever good enough is the question.
True, but he was good enough to win them a World Cup last time. You can argue how much was that him, but they still won. So yeah, I agree with that. But I think no matter what, Argentina really did a great job at the penalties, and I think their keeper Martinez was really great as well. Don't like his behavior. He was really weird afterwards.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird. The facial expressions and the dance moves and the stuff that he was doing, that was just crazy. I was like, what is this guy on?
And his trophy as well, where he was putting the trophy, the golden
in his crouch, it is like
what the
like what? And he can't perform like that for Villa, so I don't understand what's happening with this dude.
That was pretty crazy. But no matter what, I think Argentina deserves to win. But it's just also like, I think no matter how you look at it, this was the right final. Like, both teams have been the best in the entire tournament. So I think it was an amazing final. And I think like every team has a lot of stakes, but there was just so much here. With Messi on the one hand, really needing this. Argentina as a country needing it, since it's so long time ago. And France as well, because they could be the first team since 1992 to win back to back, and the Shams could be the first manager to do that since Italy back in 1936 or something. So that would really have meant a lot to them as well, and to him as manager. So just two teams with a lot of stakes in this, and they really showed that. So just an amazing match to watch, and an amazing outcome to this crazy tournament. Yeah.
I think the interesting thing for me is that a lot of the comments from people about Messi, it was like he had to win the World Cup to make sure he was the greatest of all time. Like, being the greatest player does not, you don't have to win the World Cup to be the greatest player of all time, in my opinion. Like, that does not make you a top player. Winning trophy does not make you a good player.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree 100%. People were saying this thing about, it's gonna settle the debate between Ronaldo and Messi. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't agree with that. It's the stupidest thing. This whole debate about who's better, Ronaldo and Messi, and like I never get involved with it. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, they two different players, two different leagues. They just like comparing. Like, every time I see a post on Facebook, somebody say something nice about Ronaldo, then somebody say, "Oh, Messi's the GOAT." Like, what? Like, let the two players just do their thing. Like, I agree with you 100%. I don't think Messi winning the World Cup defines who he is as a player. It doesn't define who he is as a person. Him winning the World Cup, even if he lost, he still would be considered by some the greatest of all time. There's other people that would argue that Ronaldo's the greatest of all time, but like it's all in perspective, I guess.
Here comes
think-
trouble, boys. Here comes
Oh, no.
trouble.
Oh my goodness.
Abu, how excited are you for the World Cup in 3 years? That's going to be an amazing tournament to watch.
Oh yeah, can't wait for the Cricket World Cup in 2025.
Amazing
It's the
stuff.
Club World Cup, okay? It's the Club World Cup. I read it wrong. But either way, I mean, if anybody can, I know Messi can't, but Ronaldo can have that sort of longevity. Like, he can actually go all the way up to 43 and still be able to play in, the most difficult leagues in the world. So,
Did he tell you that? Did you talk to him about it? Okay.
yeah, just last night I
He,
was
to-
on the
he told Piers.
Yeah, he told Pierce. Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's like I was the one that advised Ronaldo, and I was like, listen, man, you need to talk about your things. I know a friend of mine, his name is Piers Morgan. I set him up, I hooked him up, and then the rest is history.
Sure.
I think the most awkward thing about this whole World Cup final, the closing ceremony was when, we had Fernandez standing there and you had, Martinez, you had Messi, and then you had Mbappe standing there. And it was so awkward to watch. Like Mbappe couldn't even smile or anything like that. I mean, I understand they just lost, but it was just so weird. And it was awkward. It was awkward to watch because I mean it's just hard because he's a guy who scored a hat trick at the World Cup final. You don't ever see that really happen, and then this team still doesn't win, and it must be such a bitter pill to swallow. And I'm saying it's the goalkeeper.
I mean, I agree with you, honestly. If I were Mbappe, I'd be sad too. But then I wouldn't blame my teammates so much, especially knowing how the rest were played. All of them just wanted for Messi to win, So I wouldn't blame nobody much. It was just the
Lloris needs to know how to save penalties.
Actually, that is what I was thinking too. When you were talking about it, and I was watching you, and I was like, I absolutely agree. Because when you went to penalties, I was like, okay, fair enough. Maybe this has a good thing written all over it. But then I was reminded there's Emiliano Martinez for Argentina, and then we have Hugo Lloris for France, and that's when I told myself, nobody can miss. And as soon as Tchouaméni missed, I was like, yep, Argentina.
And the thing is, if you look at the England France game, had Harry Kane not shot it up high, that goal would have gone through, and England would have been in the semis. So I mean,
very
it
likely, yeah.
would have been extra time. It wouldn't.
Yeah, extra time, but yeah, I mean, it would have changed the whole concept of the game.
Yeah.
So just saying, sometimes the goalkeeper can keep your team. Is the crucial part and can keep your team in the game. Even with domestic cups, with domestic teams, your goalkeeper is crucial. And if you are the captain of the defending champions and you don't know how to save penalties, I don't know what you're doing there.
I mean, they don't have a better keeper on there. So France are absolutely stacked in every position except the goalkeeping position. The best they got is Hugo Lloris of Tottenham. Tottenham. They're relying on Tottenham. They're literally stacked in every position. They have the best player in the world right now, Karim Benzema. They have Olion Tchouaméni. They have Camavinga. They have Kylian Mbappe. They have all these good players in the world. And then when it comes to goalkeeping, they're turning to Tottenham Hotspur. Let's face it, Tottenham's players have been the absolute worst in the World Cup this time around.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. Richarlison was not. Richarlison is not. Yes, he is. He was Spurs. Yes.
I mean, okay, fair. Richarlison is. I wouldn't say he's done amazing. I wouldn't say he's done bad either. It's like mediocre. Like every other player. But then when it comes to Tottenham players, they have categorically performed poorly. Like Kane shot his ball to Mars. Then there's Hugo Lloris. Then Son couldn't even make it out of the group stages. And I don't even know if there are any other Tottenham players playing for the World Cup because that team is so mediocre.
He did make it out of group stages, but anyways.
I think we need to move on.
Yeah.
I will keep up. Come on, man. You had one job.
I think we need to move on.
I think that's a really good idea.
Go through the awards quickly that weren't.
Okay.
The Golden Boot award. The Golden Boot was obviously Kylian Mbappe. Silver boot was Messi, and bronze boot was Olivier Giroud.
And I thought that Mbappe would win the Golden Boot, didn't I? From the start.
Yeah. We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
no,
We'll get to that.
you were right about that. I said Joao Felix. Can you believe that shit? I said Joao Felix.
I said Vinny Jr., so I'm not.
I said Kane.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
All
I
of
mean,
us
I
are
agree
shit
with
except
Harry.
one.
The Golden Ball Award went to Messi. I'm not really the biggest fan of that, but anyone else have any thoughts on that? I'm not sure he was necessarily the best player.
Golden Ball went to who?
I think he
Golden
got
Ball
it.
went to who?
Argentina won. If Argentina hadn't won, I don't think he would have got it.
Yeah, I think it was just this whole finals was about Messi. Like people making this big hype about it was the Messi thing in there. Like I mean, like if it was any other team and every other player was there, if Messi wasn't there, it probably would have gone to Mbappe or somebody like that. And yeah, it's just crazy.
I think in general,
Like Messi
too
did
much of the rewards go to the finalists, and I don't really think that's completely fair. Like
I mean,
get they got more
honestly,
matches.
I don't think Messi did anything different compared to how he's been playing or how he was in it.
But I'm just, but what I'm saying is just like for somebody that says 90% of the goals in his contribution to the game came from penalties, doesn't make you the best player of the World Cup. That's just my opinion. It's just because he's Messi. Just because he's Messi and Argentina won, that agree completely with Harry. That's why they gave it to him.
Exactly. Like imagine if Ronaldo scored these many penalty goals, the world wouldn't stop. The media wouldn't stop. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mbappe did get the Silver Ball award, so he was like second or whatever in the.
That's crap. Literally crap. He's literally carried France this entire tournament. And I've spoken to Perez.
You think so? You think
and
so?
To be fair, Messi, a lot of Messi's goals were penalties. Most of Messi's goals were penalties.
But you guys think that Mbappe carried France?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I think I'm not saying he carried the entire.
He carried them to the finals. Yeah, he carried them to the finals. I agree with that. The finals, he carried them completely. If Mbappe wasn't there, France would have lost 3-0. But I just think there was a lot of people that contributed to France's success. Giroud, Rabiot. There's a lot of people that and like Harry said at the beginning, that this was basically partially A to B squad because most of their star players weren't even there and didn't play. So it's amazing that they are the first team in 16 years to win a World Cup and come back the next campaign and go all the way to the finals again. So I don't agree with that sentiment. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't. I wouldn't say that Mbappe was great. Tchouaméni was great. Rabiot was very good.
Griezmann was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it or not. But I think the player that actually changed, there were two players that changed the game, the entire game in totality, once they were subbed in. Eduardo Camavinga played as a makeshift left back, that boy. Left back. Makeshift left back. I was so mad at that, but he did it. And the other one was Kingsley Coman. Like, he replaced Griezmann. Griezmann was absolutely...
Did Abu just mention a guy that's not playing for Real Madrid? I'm in shock. I'm shocked. Did that really happen? Did I watch that live?
But the other thing I've been also trying to say, like Bree just said, why are people not talking about Upamecano? Because had that been done, what Upamecano did, had that been done in any other match which did not have Messi in it, that thing would have been spoken for ages to come. I mean, again, he lost, so that really didn't matter at the end, but he did have a very good goal line clearance.
And I think, like with Messi winning the thing, the people forgot about Alvarez, who was amazing during this World Cup. Amazing. And because he's in the shadows of Messi. If Messi wasn't there, Alvarez would have been the most talked about Argentinian player.
Yeah, agree.
I think they. It's a lot of things like I know. I'm just saying we're talking about this one.
I know it's not the first time because that's the reason why Neymar left Barcelona to go to PSG.
And it's the same at City. Julian Alvarez is always in the shadows because if Haaland isn't there, Alvarez is in the goals. He comes on and he changes the game. So I give him a lot of props for what he did in this World Cup.
Yeah, same.
Agreed.
Myself and
But
Andreas were on call
I
on
have not
Friday.
experienced.
Myself and Andreas were on call on Friday, and I was saying that Haaland and Alvarez need to play side by side, but they need
Yeah.
to play two
That
up
would do
top.
so much
Scary.
damage.
Absolutely.
No, I
It'll be
don't. I
scary.
don't think anyone in their right mind can say that this is Messi winning. Like this is the entire team. Messi is the name of that. He is the person people look at, but like it's the entire team. Of course it is. Like I think the entire team have performed really, really well. Enzo Fernandez, Martinez has been a much better keeper than he usually is. I think just the entire team has been really, really good. Defense has been bad, but like I think everyone expected that, to be honest.
I mean, Argentinian defense was a 38-year-old Otamendi from Benfica. The backup was a Manchester United defender, Licha. What's his name? What's the guy's
Licha
name?
Martinez.
But it
Licha
was enough
Martinez,
to win. It
Like
was
he's been very, very good for United this season. To be fair,
So his name is Martinez. But
Don't slam Martinez. I'm not a Manchester United fan, but that dude is amazing. Sorry,
I
not
hate
gonna.
everything about Manchester United.
I don't know
hate
how
everything about
Otamendi
Manchester
started.
United.
I don't know how Christian Romero and Nicolas Otamendi are
Starts
Argentina's
over him.
first choice centre back pairing. Like, I mean, you can't make it up. It's awful.
You can't.
Honestly, if you ask me,
like,
if you ask me, my sole reason for dropping Lisandro Martinez, the Licha, would be because he plays for Manchester United and he came in under the captaincy of Harry Maguire.
I'm muting you at this point, Abu. We'll move on. The young player of the year, went to Enzo Fernandez. I could see that. Maybe Jude Bellingham has more of a case.
No.
Good.
I'd go for Guardiol from Croatia. Guardiol, come on, let's talk.
Alvarez could have been. Yeah, Alvarez is another one.
Alvarez or Ramos from Portugal.
Ramos from Portugal.
I'm just saying.
Then the Golden Glove Award.
Is this because of Twitter?
Then the Golden
I'm not
Glove
saying
Award
anything.
went to Emi Martinez. I think Bono was probably robbed there, actually, to be honest.
I agree with you.
Jordan Pickford as well.
Bono was
looking at the clean sheets, Bono and Jordan Pickford both got 3 each, and Martinez as well. And then there were 7 saves each from the 3 of them. Bono was probably the best out of the lot.
Yep, I agree.
Bono is underrated. He's really underrated.
Absolutely. And then England
Needs to
got
come to the Premier League.
Yeah, Chelsea are probably going to buy him for 70 million and then have him sit on the reserves.
I don't know if this space at Chelsea, you know, Graham Potter is going to bring all the Brighton players over to Chelsea in January.
I already said that this window is going to be our Christmas. We are going to get all the big signings
We've
now.
really seen that happen for 4 years, but literally no results. No results whatsoever. We've seen you guys do that for 4 years.
Yeah. And what did you say? Didn't get us anything.
I mean, if you were to spend so much and you would just win 1 Champions League trophy, then
also we did win something. I thought
we didn't spend anything. Real Madrid didn't spend anything, and yet we won a Champions League trophy. As things stand.
Okay, guys.
How much did Real Madrid win in the last 4 years? Only 1.
Okay, guys, let's move on.
Okay, time out, guys. There's still matches to be watched.
Before we move on from the World Cup, I will just quickly announce the predictions that we all made at the start. Andreas had his winner as Argentina. Golden Boot was for Harry Kane, and surprise package was Denmark.
It was a surprise, so I think I should get that point. It was a huge surprise, so I should get that point.
Abu had his winner as Portugal. I wonder why.
Yeah, surprise.
Ronaldo. Golden Boot winner was Joao Felix. I'm surprised you didn't go for Ronaldo, to be honest. And then surprise package, he did go for Morocco, but that was Warren's advice. So I think technically Warren should get that.
Warren literally saves my ass. No, if not for Warren in predictions or in Premier League, Fantasy Premier League, I'd probably get my ass handed to me.
I agree.
And then Warren had Brazil as the winner, Mbappe as the Golden Boot winner, and then the surprise package USA. I went for Brazil as my winner. Golden Boot, I had Vinny Jr., and I had Denmark as my surprise package. Richard had Germany as the winner, Messi as the Golden Boot winner, and then Senegal as the surprise package. So Warren gets a point for Warren, and Abu and Andreas each get 1 point each there. So the title is shared. We will move on and talk about the League Cup quickly because there are games coming up from tonight. It's a hard one to kind of talk about because it's a complete restart in a way. It's like the first game of the season all over again because the World Cup has been on and there's no real form or anything, so it's kind of hard to tell how teams are going to do. It's hard to know what kind of teams are going to put out. You'd imagine that it'll be second string sides. That a lot of the World Cup stars will probably be rested until the weekend, till Monday, Boxing Day for the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting just to kind of see the teams that they put out, I guess. I guess the big fixture, the standout fixture is Man City Liverpool on Thursday. I'll come to you first, Warren, as a Liverpool fan. Your thoughts on this?
I'm actually confident that Liverpool will do well because we've beaten City twice this season. We're the only team to have done that so far. And Pep Guardiola has said in an interview that he is not confident with his team that they have for Thursday's match. So it will be interesting. I know Klopp said that the only players that's not in contention for the this match is Konate because he went all the way to the finals. But everybody else should be fine. We know Jota is back in the training, so he might get a couple of minutes if he's fit. And most of the, and Matip and Dijk, all those players are in training. So it's going to be. I really hope Liverpool does well because Nunez is in the goals again. Salah's back in the goals again. So they are really changing things up. I just hope they can keep this momentum going. Alisson will be in goal again. So, but I'm afraid that City will give us a run for our money. But I hope, as defending champions of this title, we can take it to them again and win them for the third time this season. City has proven that they're not unbeatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Andreas, because I know you have to go.
Yeah, for City Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool City. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it can go either way. It's both two teams that really will fight for this, of course, and it's going to be a really interesting way to start up again. I think I'm going with City, but it's going to be really close. But I think Holland really wants to go out there and show something if he gets the chance, of course. But the man has done absolutely nothing for an entire month, so I'm sure that he is really hungry to go out
feeling
there.
Refreshed as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm going with City, but it's going to be really close, and I think both teams really want this to really start back up strong again. It does matter a lot, of course. So yeah.
Abu?
I think Liverpool are going to turn the season around now. It's coming. It's coming high time. The entire team has had rest, but the only problem right now is Haaland. That giant of a man has had no rest, and
Salah also didn't have any rest. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, I'm fair enough, but then considering the form Salah has been in, and considering the form,
we beat him twice after this.
Fair, I don't know, but I think
you don't know anything about what's going on. Let's just be honest here.
To be honest,
anyway,
be the
first time Premier League tie of Newcastle and Bournemouth takes place today. It'd be interesting to kind of see whether Newcastle can continue their form and their good run from before the World Cup, because they were really on a roll and they were this big side that were kind of making waves and shocking people. Like Valmiron has had time away. Callum Wilson didn't get much of a shot with England. So it'll be interesting for those guys to kind of see where they're at now.
Trippier is injured.
Sorry, Warren. Go on.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying Trippier is injured. That's all.
Is he?
Yeah, he's injured, so he's not
I
playing.
didn't know that.
I'm gonna have to take him off of my fantasy team. That's such a
But we'll
shock.
see. We'll see the lineup tonight. They'll probably confirm it. That's why he didn't play for England a lot. The last
Alright.
matches. So
I thought he didn't play because Gareth Southgate likes Kyle Walker.
no, he wasn't even on the bench. So it's yeah, he's injured.
Fair enough.
But let's see what happens in the lineup. Because
No,
that's
he
what I'm
did-
gonna base my that's
he
what I'm
did-
gonna base my FPL on, to see who's playing for which teams this time, because I haven't even touched my team yet.
Trippier did start against Rayo Vallecano a couple of days ago in a friendly.
Oh, okay. Then he's probably fine still.
Yeah, he's clearly a huge part of the team. So I hope for them that he is ready. But no matter what, I think Newcastle is just really strong, and I don't think they will. I think they will continue just as they did before the break. But yeah, anything can happen, and it will be a test for a lot of those teams that had a lot of momentum. It will be a test to see if they can get it back up. But I think they will. So yeah.
I mean,
United,
I just have one thing to say. I think Liverpool are going to beat Manchester City, and they're going to get their form back. But it's the absolute worst time to get their form back, because in February they meet Real Madrid, and I'm telling you, Real Madrid are going to screw the season up. Absolutely.
But we're talking about the Carabao Cup now.
Listen, I'm too tired to listen to Abu. I'm going off now. See you guys.
Oh my God! Bye.
So he has some commitment, so he had to leave.
Yeah. Let's go, Liverpool. Yes, Bree. Yes, let's go.
Liverpool are playing Real Madrid in February. Who are you going to support? Real Madrid?
We'll worry about that in February, Abu. Let's worry about that in February. We're not even in January yet. Come on. The other
Fair
fixtures tonight, we have Wolves, Gillingham, Southampton, Lincoln, and MK Dons against Leicester. Should be wins for all the Premier League sides.
Yes.
Are you
never
sure?
know.
I think Leicester are probably going to choke. Provided
I don't
they
think so.
don't.
I don't think so. I think Leicester's got Madison has a point to prove. Southgate didn't give him 1 minute to play. Like,
True.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so.
That
I
was-
said in the chat, if I was a football player and I went all the way to Qatar for a freaking month, and I could have rested, I could have trained, I could have, done more like personal growth with myself, and I sat there for a whole month and I didn't get 1 minute, I'd be so pissed.
I'd be
So
pissed,
pissed.
but then again, it's Gareth Southgate we're talking about. England had the
But
best squad. England
I think
considerably.
I think Leicester's winning. I think Wolves is winning. I think Newcastle is winning tonight. And I think the only upset I think that can happen is the Southampton match.
Just to
That's the
say,
only one that,
I'm just seeing
that I don't have confidence in.
Maddison is set to sit out the game.
Oh, they probably resting him for the Premier League.
Premier League, yeah, because the fixtures are gonna come in hard now.
Yeah, there's like now it's gonna be double weeks and 2 games. It's gonna be midday weeks and week games and weekend week games.
Boxing Day
He's
game.
more likely to come back for the Boxing Day game against Newcastle. Is what he said.
Ooh.
Even though apparently Newcastle are looking to sign him, which I did not know.
To sign Maddison?
Kind of sad.
Yeah,
Sunday morning.
and then
to
tomorrow
send
we
this
have
player-
Brighton against Charlton, Blackburn against Nottingham Forest, and United against Burnley. I think
Let's go Burnley.
the three.
I hate Manchester United with all my life now.
Only because of Cristiano Ronaldo. With that, I think we will call it a day.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for watching. We will be back on Friday for our final show before Christmas, where we will be looking back we'll be looking ahead to the Boxing Day games, and we'll be looking back at the League Cup fixtures from the last few days. Please make sure to like and subscribe below. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you all Friday. Stay safe.